welcome to Banter Talkshow. Woo, that was, you know what? That was one of those beatings. You know, if you grew up in the 70s or 60s, and early 80s, when your mama said, "Go get that switch," you know, that switch was to switch your behavior, corrective behavior. That's what the Bears did. Detroit had them go get a switch.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Yeah. You're not gonna cry today? You're not gonna cry? Coach, I'm not doing it again.
Damn shame what they did to that dog. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was, the final score is 52-21.
It wasn't that close.
No, it wasn't that close. You know what, the Bears. You know what? I'm gonna start here. Ryan Poles didn't address some of the Bears' issues in the draft. I'll just start there. But even with that, the Bears team lacked discipline on the offense. For some reason, they keep howling. You can't have all these penalties, false starts, holding. I think they even cut block a guy. That's all I got right now.
I think we having problems in basic blocking and tackling. Relative to Ryan Poles, for whatever reason, he picked a tight end, because I think that's what Ben Johnson wanted him to pick, and the offensive tackle that's not doing anything. So there's enough blame to go around for this. I did not see this kind of butt whooping coming, but we definitely we had to take one today.
Yeah, man. Our offensive tackles are just bad. I've been on Braxton Jones for about 2 years now, and his play to me is not nowhere near. I mean, it's like every time you look up, he's getting pushed into the backfield where the quarterback has to like dance around and not get hit in the jaw. Mm-hmm. Now, Daniel Wright is, I don't know if they cousins or what, but they starting to look the same. Except Daniel Wright don't know what the damn snap count is half the time. And he's gonna hold you. I mean, he's a perennial holder. I'm like, man, he's like, the dude. I told Nutty before we came on, I was like, he's got to lead the team in penalties. Every time, yeah, 58. I'm like, damn. Some little kids like, mommy, who's number 58? They call him a lot. He famous. He must be good.
Right.
No. Exact opposite.
Yeah, man. Your offensive line names are being, if you're not a fan of the team, if your offensive line is doing well, the other fans of the other team don't know what their names are unless they study them. I'm sure the Detroit fans left this game knowing who the Bears tackles were because they heard their name so much on the intercom.
Well, the only offensive lineman that I did not hear or see make a bad play was Tony. The rest of them, gave up sacks, gave up pressures, were pushed into the backfield, decided they wanted to do offensive penalties. We need to start over.
Hey, well, since we talking about giving it up, I mean, we got to talk about Tyreek Stevenson. Man.
Toast Stevenson. That's my new nickname for him.
Hey, man. That man, I know the show is clean, but that man should have got $40 at least left on the dresser a couple times. Man, because he was giving it up.
Right.
Every time he come into somebody's house, smoke alarm, smoke detector start coming on.
Yeah, he's starting to look like Buster Scream, man.
Right.
Man. Don't he the same number? No, they don't.
He had a pretty decent rookie year that kind of made it. He looked him like he was promising, right? Because I saw some positive things his rookie year, but last year I saw major steps backwards, and then also the thing that stays in our mind last year with him was the Washington game. But still, after that game, the coverage was not there, and in this game, I want to say at least 2 of those touchdowns, he was the guy he was covering. And the one on halftime, you got beat twice. I mean, you literally got beat by the guy who caught the ball right on the sideline with one hand. And at this point, with hardly no time on the clock, I don't even know why you just don't press coverage them, right? To get rid of anything with time, because you know they got to get rid of the ball, because what was it, like 2 seconds in the game? So he was backed off too far, and the guy just went over in the corner and caught the touchdown on him. So,
well, I think that Dennis Allen was talking about how he likes to, do press defense 101, man to man. You could take advantage of his cornerback skills. He didn't look like he had any idea how to play cornerback. Mm-hmm. Every time you looked up, you saw him chasing somebody and them 10 to 15 yards in front of him. That's pretty ridiculous. That's cornerback DB 101. Keep the guy in front of you.
Our team was built on cover 2, the defense, the corners and all that. They were drafted for cover 2. And those guys are, I've said it 100,000 times, they are zone cornerbacks. You start putting them dudes in man-to-man, and you have a problem. Because that's not why they were brought here. They were brought here for their zone defense.
Did Jaquan Brisker, did he play today?
Yes.
I think he played for.
Okay. I take your word for it. How about that?
I think he played for.
I remember seeing him chasing a couple of players right by the end zone. I can't recall if he played the whole game. I know Johnson went out at some point.
Yeah, I told Nutty that Johnson got out of there because he was like, "Oh no, I don't want no parts of this.
I see where this is going."
Y'all ain't gonna be talking about me no more.
Y'all messing up my stats, man. Y'all making me look bad. That's what he said.
Cuz I ain't getting in there. Hey, Tyreek, you just keep getting burnt, man. We be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So on the offense, I know they gave up 4 sacks, and to be honest, I can't even say that those 4 sacks is because of holding the ball too long. Those were really sacks just because the guys that's really could even hold their man long enough for him to even barely get to the top of his drop in that aspect. And then also, it doesn't help when you have 2nd and 32, 3rd and 32, or 3rd and 30, and you have it multiple times in the same game. We was talking about in the preseason about the Bears cleaning up those down and long distance plays from last year. But actually right now, through 2 games, they're worse in those downs and distant plays now because they're having multiple ones in the same game, which is it's not good. And I think what Ben I'm going to have to do in those situations in the game is go ahead, punt. Go ahead, give a handoff and concede on those plays because your line cannot block good enough for you when you got 2nd and 30 or 3rd and 30 and you're trying to throw something deep. Just go and run, punt, because all you're doing is endangering your quarterback in those plays.
Well, the line can't block good enough to get 2 yards in 2 plays. So if you remember, they were 3rd and 2, and they tried a quarterback sneak. Then they came right back and say, okay, 4th and 1, we'll get it. And they got stopped on both of those.
Yeah.
So, it's not like we have an identity as bruisers, as linemen. You know what? I think I'm going to have to wait to Ben Johnson's press conference. Nothing else. He's got to admit, I got to go back to the drawing board. I don't have an idea what the heck we doing. I don't know what our identity is offensively as well as defensively. The defense got took out to the woodshed today. And 50 points? That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting fact, though. Interesting stat for the day. The Bears had 4 quarterback pressures for the entire game and no sacks.
Wow.
We had no sacks.
Well, I'm waiting for my check to come back from Montez Sweat because he owes everybody that watched that game money. I have to see how much he's stealing for this, man. This is ridiculous.
We talked about Briscoe led the team in tackles today.
Wow, that's not good.
He had 9 tackles and 7 were solos.
Wow.
So looks like Edmonds had 7 tackles, 6 of them were solo, and 1 tackle for a loss.
Wait, are they counting that as a solo tackle when Montgomery ran over him and carried him for them extra 5 yards?
It might be. That's how Roquan gets his.
Okay.
I mean, hey, if it's good enough for Roquan, baby, it's good enough for Tremaine. Hey, Roquan to stop you 12 yards down the field, they be like, yeah, good tackle.
Yeah. So it's so many things that went wrong in this game, and as a young coach, first-time head coach, you got to burn the film of this one, but you still got to correct the penalties on offense. And some reason at halftime, your team seemed to quit 2 weeks in a row, right? Because even though you was behind going into halftime today, but it was like after that halftime, it was like the team was kind of lifeless. You still want to see your team fighting regardless if you're down by that much, but I didn't really see a lot of fight at the halftime neither weeks, and some of it seemed like coach not adjusting. But also when Plank, when you mentioned that 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, I don't see any creativity from Ben Wilson right now as an offensive play caller. He did that one misdirection play. He could have did that on that 4th down play where he put Caleb on the edge and throw, or put him on the edge and run. So that was kind of weird when he did that play.
Well, I'm glad we got Dr. Quick, a referee extraordinaire on the call today, on the show today. What happened with that play right before the half where the guy the tight end made a catch from Detroit? His knee hit inbounds. So the clock should have kept going, and it looked like they had ran the clock down. But then next thing you look up, they got 6 additional seconds because they said somebody made a mistake. How does that work?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember. I know what play you're talking about, but I had looked away for a second. But they normally if it's forward progress or stop inbounds, then the clock should continue to run. I'm not sure. I got to go back and look at it. And I'm shocked too, because a lot of times during plays like that, somebody will say something and I'll be like, oh, let me go check the replay out or whatever. You know, especially watching. It's hard to watch the entire Bears game with them getting their butt whooped like that.
It is.
You'd be like, man, let me see what's going on TikTok.
Right.
Watching the Bears is, I got 4 sons. It's just like a dad watching your son get beat up by the toughest girl on the block, and you like, son, I can't even help you, man. I don't know what to do.
Right, you know, Quick, I'm trying to understand it too. Maybe if I give you these details, what I thought they said, maybe this will help you, use your. I think what they saying is he caught the ball and his forward progress stopped him, but they ended up they didn't stop the clock. They kept the clock running, so that play should have resulted in a 10-second runoff, and the clock stops. So what they did was, I'm assuming, I'm trying to piece it together myself. So when the play ended, it was 16 seconds, but they kept running the play. So when they looked at the play and went over it, they went to 16 seconds, did a 10-second runoff, and play starts, right? Which means they had 6 seconds. I'm not sure. I was confused totally.
I'm trying to figure out how is it a 10-second runoff if it's got to be an offensive penalty.
Right.
Okay.
To be a 10-second. I'm trying to look for it now.
Okay, because that's what was confusing, because they said something about a 10-second runoff, and I was like, what are they talking about? You know?
I had to find it and get back because I'm looking for it now, but I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah, Ben
Actually, Jay says Swift ran the ball, ran well, and not lean to him in that situation was telling. Yeah, I think they were still mad at him for the fumble or something, because I think that was after the fumble. So they did not get Swift the ball, and they had Maganga in those two plays, but neither play that they even gave it to him. What's up, Jay? I don't know if you was ready. I'm sorry, I brought you on the screen.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
All right.
I'm just not because I'm still hey, when you've been married 30 years and the wife wants jerk chicken, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, you gotta go to Jerk
Gotta
Villa.
make some jerk chicken.
You gotta go to Jerk Villa. Be like, hey,
I am Jerk Villa. Are you playing? I am Jerk Villa. But anyway, just based on watching the game, it's one of those things where, Ben Johnson is still a first-year coach, and he a head coach, and now he calling the plays, and I think he get caught up in the minutia. Just keep doing what's working for you. And I just came in when y'all was talking about the third down and the fourth down where he ran Caleb Williams. At that time, fumble or not, and I can't remember if the fumble with Swift was before that or after, but fumble or not, Swift was gaining yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's third and 1, fourth and 1. You got to lean on your backs, man. You got to lean on your running backs for that. Roshan was active today. He's a short yardage back. So,
Is he?
That's what they say.
Okay.
So, so these are the little intricacies that I talk about that Ben Johnson needs to develop. Because when you're a play caller, the head coach is saying, "Hey, we're going for it on fourth down." So now you, as the offensive coordinator, like, okay, he said we're going for it on fourth down. So now I gotta develop a play that's gonna get us a first down on fourth down. But when you're the head coach as well as the play caller, it makes it very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I gotta go back and look too, because really, man, if it's 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, if you run a quarterback sneak and your linemen are firing out, you're supposed to get that. I don't care.
You're exactly correct.
I don't care. I mean, Swift is having this 4th and 1. And you got to have some kind of kahunas about yourself to fire off. Now, I complained last week about the Bears' offensive stances being too high. And I got to go back and look at that play to even see if they were in a 3-point stance, because they haven't been in 3-point stances much. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you tell me that if it's Philadelphia, 4th and 1, everybody in the country knows what's coming. Everybody knows what's coming. You got to stop it, right? So 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, you got to have some pride about yourself if you're on that front line, and you got to move some people out the way, because your quarterback only needs 1 yard. Now, then again, they getting blown off the line, so hell, ain't nowhere to go.
Right. So, hey, quick to agree with what you said on that first one on 3rd. Drew Dahlman was actually getting pushed back on that play, which at the snap, which caused Caleb to try to look at the hole on the left. Because if your center getting pushed, you're not going to go to the left. You're going to the left because you barely get the snap from him, and he's getting pushed. Also, the thing is, I've been saying some stuff that is, it's first year, so I'm giving him grace. Our coach openly talked about he didn't think much of the tush push because it was not an explosive play. He said this through the offseason. Hey, you could have used that tush push on that play. Maybe you should have been behind there pushing your quarterback tush. I don't know.
But it seemed like that quarterback sneak is floated in our face to me.
I mean, you don't really need the actual push. You need 1 yard. You're asking your people to just, man, you got to go back and look at the play and look at the stand, because I've said that these guys have been too high.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you
that's why they push back. But I mean, I ain't paid millions of dollars to even analyze stuff like that. Man.
But once again,
was 23 for 28 and threw for 5 touchdowns today. At least 4 of those was against Tyreek Stevens. How bad is your luck that every completed pass and touchdown pass goes against you?
That's because his boy made a business decision to say, I ain't playing the rest of the game. I'm out. I'm out. It's on you. And he didn't play last week. So, like, what? Were you healthy to come back or not?
Well, he got burnt by Amon-Ra St. Brown, then Williams burned him, then whoever this brand new tight end comes in making amazing catches, he burns him. I was like, dude, equal opportunity.
And he should have got $40 on his dresser from all of them.
Hey, you know, TJ Edwards wind up not finishing the game.
He did.
With re-injuring his injury. So if you're not healthy enough to play, then just don't come. Don't back to you ready. So it's a lot of things. Like I said, you know,
You're going in and out.
You're going in and out.
And
they
the bottom line
took Jay to the woodshed, man.
Right. And the bottom line is y'all gave up a 50 burger today. And that's not good. That's not good at all.
And they took their foot off the pedal. They could have gave up 60 pretty easily.
Yeah, they could have.
There's a Mel Tucker. Lord.
Yeah, they could have. They could have gave up 60 points real easy. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I really don't have no words. I'm trying to say some stuff, but I really don't have no words.
The other thing, we might hear a couple people talking about how good of a game Rome Odunze played because he got 2 TDs. I think he dropped about 7 passes.
Yeah, he dropped a lot of passes. And, of course, you know, the narrative is going to be tomorrow. Caleb Williams sucked. You know, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. But this game is, I mean, at least from what I saw, this game wasn't on Caleb. You know, it's just our defense was compromised.
Yeah,
our defense was compromised.
So he was one of the ones Rome caught. He double caught a few, and he almost caused an interception on. Matter of fact, one play he caught it, fumbled, picked it up, and fumbled it again.
Fumbled again. Yep. Who does that?
Did DJ Moore decide I'm not gonna really try to get open, or did it just look like he said I ain't playing? Either one is bad, but I didn't really see DJ Moore out there doing much anything.
He been absent for a while too here.
But actually, I don't know if somebody can look up his stats, but actually he had a pretty decent game. But Ben Johnson is the type of coach where he targets a certain player in a certain game. If you go back and look at his stint in Detroit, he had some games where, you know, Laporta was going to be targeted. He had some games where Williamson was going to be targeted. He had some games where St. Brown was going to be targeted. And today it looked like Rome Odunze was the guy that they was trying to target today.
Yeah, DJ Moore got 5 receptions for 46 yards, so average about 9 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so, you know.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so Rome got 11 targets today.
Yeah, we done 5, man. We got to throw the ball, and you only got six catches.
Yeah. But he was targeted how many times?
He was targeted 11 times with
no, DJ.
Receptions. That's wrong.
DJ Moore. 5 catches.
No, DJ Moore. How many times was he targeted?
He was targeted 6 times, and he got 5 catches.
Yeah.
So I mean, what else you want him to do?
Get open.
I
got to throw the ball every play.
He was open 5 out of 6 times, so I don't know what you want him to do, Quick. But I get it.
It's 4 quarters. So you saying that you can only get open 5 times in 4 quarters?
Once a quarter, that'll do it, right?
15 minutes a quarter, 60 minutes, you got open 5 times.
Yeah. I'm mad because he thought he was open last week. So
you know, on the offensive side, you know, what I'm confused about is you drafted a tight end in the first round that's barely getting on the field. I can't say he ain't producing because I don't really see him on the field that much. Then in the second round, you drafted Luther Burden, who you primarily using as kickoff return, and then you draft Ozzie with Tupelo in the second round. Mm-hmm. So your first rounds and second round picks, and you got 3 second round picks, and they're not even getting enough time to even impact the game. So I'm not sure what is your game plan. I don't know if the coach is not scheming them well. I'm not sure what's going on, but Luther Burden should be on that field more than just for a kickoff return, which doesn't look like it's his specialty, really, because, I mean, he's running fast once he gets it, but that don't look like that's something he's comfortable doing, kickoff returns.
Well, they ended up getting Dubonnet, too, so...
And I kind of frowned at you when you said that, Bernard, in the text group, when you was like, when you said that, but I was like, not only are they not producing, Trapillo wasn't even active today.
Good.
Trapillo wasn't even active today. What's his name? Shamar Turner.
Shamar Turner.
He wasn't active today.
That's your third pick in the second round.
And then you got your third round pick from last year, Amagazi. He wasn't even active today.
He wasn't active.
So now you're talking about 3 players that wasn't even active.
Well, I want to make sure everybody know there is a good thing that we can talk about. Tyson Bagent got in the game and he threw 7 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, and maybe that didn't really happen.
Man.
Hey, let me do a little quick commercial break. Hold on, here we go. Oh yeah, hey, 100 degrees, I'm sweat out your wave. I guess I'm a fan, and this shit the breeze must be what heaven is. Oh yeah. She get it bustin' and bust it down like it's nothing, and nothing gon' get me down today. Whoa, feel like I'm rolling heavy now. I think I'm Hey, well, that's Luke Sky.
Ben Johnson is playing today, I'll tell you that.
He didn't have a lot of options, did he?
He did not.
Hey, we was talking about Luke Sky on Friday in the pregame. So, hey, Luke Sky's up-and-coming artist, my son. Look for him on Apple under the name Luke Sky. That's one word, Luke, Sky, SKY.
Good job, young man.
Okay.
What you got? Sound like you was a Whispers in the Dark commercial.
Quiet storm.
But I really don't have a whole lot. The bottom line is, I didn't think the Bears I didn't pick the Bears to win this game, just based on the fact that it was home opener. They lost last week. The Bears lost last week, and somebody had to win this game. And I do think that the Lions was the better team. We got to learn how to play a whole game, because they came out in the first quarter with their first possession, they scored. We came back and scored. So I'm like, okay, here we go. But Mr. Alton, Mr. Quick, the officials in this game was bad, because that end of the second quarter, that kind of like took the wind out the sails for the Bears. And I'm not making excuses for them, because you still got to come out.
Hey, Jay, when you get your ass with 52-21, it ain't got nothing to do with a call.
Okay. And I'm glad you said that.
Bad call. It could be a good call. It could be a 10-10, 3-2-1 call. 52-21.
And I'm glad you said that.
Stephen A. Smith today. It's 52-30-21.
And see, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because I feel the same way when people said last week, like, the Bears should have kicked that field goal instead of going for it on fourth down. And my thing is, when those type of plays happen, you never know what the outcome was going to be. Say if the Bears did kick that field goal. They kicked the field goal and they put those 3 points on the board. What was going to happen? So I'm glad you said that, because you're exactly right.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, when you getting beat 52-21. The only call you can make is to call a friend, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's it. You need some help. You need to ask the referee, can we play with 16 players? Because they doing it for us right now. We getting
and Jay, to that point, last week we lost the game by 3 points. One field goal, one play would have made a difference, at least gave us a tie. Today, we got beat by 31 points. We can't start talking about the girl in the fifth row that wore the yellow dress distracted the whole team. A whole lot of stuff distracted the team. This was ridiculous.
Yeah, this is from a team that had only got 2 field goals in the game last week before like the garbage time touchdown. I think they ended up getting 13 points in the week before, but mostly it was 6 points for the majority of that game. So that team was able to get right on you offensively where they felt good about themselves. Everything was going their way. And they wanted to stick it to you. They wanted to stick it to you to show that, hey, we struggled last week, but we gonna get on track this week, and they definitely got on track.
Yeah, the one of the things though, if you look at the game from the Bears played last week, we had an opportunity to win that ball game. They played fairly well up until the fourth quarter. If you look at the Detroit game from last week, they didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And so in picking who would win this game, you would think that the Bears, coming off of that fatal loss last week, going into the game, they had a couple of bright spots and all of that. You would think that the Bears would have won this game or made this game more competitive than what it was. The line for the game was plus 6.5. And I was like, man, somebody got to be smoking crack to put the line at plus 6.5 after looking at both games last week. Right? And so you're looking at it, analyzing it like, man, okay, we usually – now here's the crazy part. We normally play Detroit tough.
Yeah.
Right? The past – before last year, we've actually beat Detroit, and they're rebuilding with all of their weapons and everything. We've actually beat Detroit. So, like, 31 point – oh, man. That was like a blind side. You know, that was not expected. I don't think nobody said they would have came here and put up 52 points. No. No way. But
well, at least Santos didn't miss any extra points today. You know what though? I just felt like it was a bad omen when the first play of the game he kicked the ball out of bounds and we already got a penalty. I'm like, are we serious? Is this what we do?
So I'm already cussing, and ain't no time went off the clock.
Right?
Yeah. Ain't no time went. I was like, this son, they should have cut his ass last week. They should have cut that. Man, they should have.
You know that's not a good way to start the game. You're right, Plank. You're starting off a game, right? But you still, as a professional team, you should be able to overcome any of those type of things. But I guess they did initially, but then after the first quarter, that was it. Now, in fact, the first drive by both teams, or whatever, not first drive, but it makes you feel like this game may be a nice little shootout because both teams kind of scored fairly easy. Then after that, you realize that only one team was going to be scoring.
Well, the touchdown before halftime was the backbreaker to me because they deferred and they was getting the ball to start the second half. It was 21-14. So that was kind of like the backbreaker to me. When they scored that touchdown right before halftime with 6 seconds left, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, nope, this ain't good.
Yeah. And that's poor defense on Stevenson part. That's the play before, right? You cannot get burnt by that D. What was that, like a 30-some yard pass right before halftime from a guy coming off? I'm thinking a guy coming off the bench who one-hands it. You know, if anything, you should have been pushing him out of bounds or trying to jaw the ball loose, but he's actually just ran past you. And so you're trailing. Matter of fact, most every play he was playing today, he was trailing guys all day. Look, if that's what he's gonna give you this year, other than Jalen Johnson being hurt, then you may have to get number 26. I don't remember his name. More playing time.
He's right.
He looked bad on the tackle, man. When Gibbs came around the corner and he just whiffed at him with a hand like this. Then that was the time when Sweat chased the guy down and ended up tackling from behind.
Yeah.
Six just fell on top of him after Sweat that knocked him down. Like, yeah, I got this tackle. Like, bro, no, you didn't. Come on, man. he just ran by you. You put a hand out. Like, it's some guys that, man, I'm glad I'm not coaching because there's some guys that'll be cut. Because I'm like, if this the effort you're going to give me, I can do it without you. I can do it without you. Ain't no way. This ain't what we doing around here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a silver lining in this. Yeah, there's not much silver lining. I definitely know they got to look at it and do some tweaks on some other stuff. I'm just trying to dive into stuff that we didn't really talk about, and it's not major, but maybe it could be helpful. I don't know his name, number 12 for the last two games. He really gives you nothing on the punt return. Who's the name?
Duvernay,
yeah. I mean, he's feeling the ball, he's catching the ball, but I mean, that's part of the job. To me, if that's all you was going to get, because you're not getting any speed from him, I would have rather you kept Tyler Scott back there. To feel I'm just using somebody's name. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just saying somebody who's.
I'm like, we're going to look far now.
I'm just using
right,
because
Duvernay,
you just got a guy back there, kind of like Leon Johnson back in the day. You just got a guy that's just safely catching the ball from you. I'm almost like, damn, Velus Jones back there again. You know, like.
But Duvernay was a Pro Bowler.
I was going to say Duvernay is a Pro Bowl returner. You know, so. I think my takeaway from this again is that this is going to take time. Everybody wants this to be just because we hired Ben Johnson doesn't mean this is going to be a quick fix. And I still say going into week 3, we still having the same issues this year that we had at the end of last year, which is offensive line and pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
We get absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback, and then the one sack that we did get, it got negated by a penalty. So
there's no pass rush is our problem, because then we just spend $63 billion on 3 offensive linemen.
Yes, we did. You're exactly right. And Darnell Wright is regressing. I mean, his penalties today, I think they had 6 offensive penalties on the offensive line, and 5 of them was on him. So, you know, this is not a quick fix. It's not a quick fix.
You know what? Those penalties, what's those penalties as far as the false start? You know, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what's going on. Now, if everybody was moving, I would blame the quarterback, because I would say it's the quarterback if it was everybody moving, but it's only 1 or 2 players. So it's making me think that these players, I'm talking on the right side, whatever's going on between Wright and Jonah Jackson, they're having these false start penalties, but it's not happening on the left side of the field as far as his false starts. I think you might have had 1 false start by Swift in his game as well, but that'll happen. But this is a reoccurring theme that makes me think that these guys have false starts in practice. This ain't just occurring in the game. This has to be happening in practice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by far. They doing this all over the place. This got practice. Yeah.
So that we're talking about
perfect, right?
Amon-Ra St. Brown had 9 receptions and 11 targets.
How many yards? 150 or something?
115. 3 touchdowns.
Now if DJ Morse wants to be at the game, then I'm just saying, you know, that's why I make the comparison that way, because if you go back, it's you gotta either you the man or you not the man. And everybody talking about how Caleb had developed a relationship with Rome Odunze, how they're gonna benefit off of each other. Either you the man or you not the man, or just gotta say, hey, Rome, you the man now. You know, that it's been a problem for a while.
I mean, that was projected quick that by the end of this season, Rome Odunze was going to be the number one wide receiver on this team. So
That's not
he is right now. Not projected. He is right now. He's got 3 touchdowns. He's got, in 2 games, he's got 3 touchdowns and et cetera, et cetera. And so the only time DJ been in the end zone is when they come out for the beginning of the game and run back in. The only time he been in the end zone.
No, because he did celebrate with Odunze when he caught his couple of touchdowns.
Well, yeah.
That's what we count. Okay.
Hey, don't hate, man. He had to get in the paint when he could get in the paint, man. I mean,
time you getting down there, like, man, come on. And so, like, I played receiver in high school. I was the guy that was in the huddle, that was disrupting the huddle, like, hey, man, throw me the ball. Look, I don't Brown Air Bear 44 died, blah, blah. Man, screw that play. Throw me the ball.
Right.
I don't care about that. All right, I'm a block for. Hey, coach, what are we doing? We point saving? We ain't throwing me the ball? What's going on?
Yeah.
What are we doing? We got to be point saving. Somebody getting some money for this.
Hey, that would have messed up their parlay, man. They was like, man, get this, man.
Even when we get together now at Julian alumni stuff, I'll be like, hey, man, we had to be point shaving, man. I get like 7 targets a game, get 2 touchdowns, and you don't keep throwing me the ball? What's wrong with you? Like, as an older dude now, I'm like, what was we thinking about? Like, come on, man. 6 or 7 targets a game, 2 touchdowns. And
you were bullying all the DBs and breaking their self-esteem. So the coach was trying to help the greater good, man.
I used to be like, oh, there ain't a DB in the city that can stick me. Nowhere. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, we got to get the ball. I don't care about nobody else's stats, man.
Yeah, Jay, like he lost connection again. You know, the other add-on to this, and it's more so just philosophical more than actuality of it. I mean, the Bears team right now, to me, I don't know who the leaders are on their teams as far as who's
nobody.
Who's the leader on offense. Correct. It's nobody on defense. It's kind of a leaderless team. I do know as Caleb grows and get comfortable, he's going to have to blossom into that leader, because right now, even when you look at the line, I don't really see like the leadership from like the center or anything like that. So somebody has to be the leader. Like Quick was just saying, hey, throw me the ball. Somebody has to be hungry on that offense, right? Somebody has to be, this is we about to get something, right? You kind of see guys like sitting around. Defense, I don't know who's the leader. Jalen Johnson always complained, but I mean, come on. I mean, I don't see the leadership. I didn't see him complain.
Right. And you don't see him catching the ball either. So Jalen Johnson, if he's a lockdown corner, I'd like to see him catching it and getting turnovers. I mean, that's kind of what lockdown corners do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
you the ball back, right?
Plank, I'm going to say it again, man. That's blasphemy. That dude ain't no lockdown corner. Great blasphemy. That's like in the Lord's name in vain.
Hey, I remember my junior year. Tim Johnson was our safety. He got 8 picks. I say, man, you got 4 picks in one game. He said they kept throwing the ball at me, man. What else you want me to do?
Right. And that runs the family, because almost every year when they switched me over to defense, I was like, man, hold on, wait. I could catch the ball and I could score. Sounds like a great deal to me. Let's go.
It's actually easier to score if you catch it as a defensive player than it is offense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some pride issues right now on the Bears. And I think they're going through the fill out phase. They're trying to fill out the coach trying to fill out the players. And really, Johnson doesn't have what he thinks he has up front, because you remember Detroit had all number 1 draft picks up front on their line. And we got, y'all cousin Braxton Jones. Darnell Wright is a number 1 draft pick, but he don't look like a number 1 draft pick right now. And what's surprising me is that Swift has had actually 2 decent games.
Yes.
And it's just like, that's it though. Like, nobody else is, who else is gonna do something? Like, Rome is doing stuff, but it's like too little too late. And you got Swift coming out, running the ball, running effectively and stuff, and it's like, all right, let's scrap that. We ain't gonna do that no more.
I think the problem is that Ben Johnson has in his mind a way that he sees the game going. So he has a way of what he wants to win like. He has a lot of times you got to say, well, wait a minute. We down by 3. It's 10 minutes left. How can I turn that into a victory for us? Not, oh man, we didn't score these 15 touchdowns that I saw in my mind. You gotta coach the game that's in front of you at some point.
Craig, I 100% agree with you, and I know everybody who listening to this, it's not like any of us saying we a better OC than him. We're just making observation of what we're seeing right now, and I think some of it could be what Jay's saying, first time head coach and the play caller at that. First of all, one of the things you want to do when a team is being able to beat your offensive tackles like that, you want to take some of that aggression and use it against them by some type of maybe wide running back screen, something to kind of lure them in. You maybe want to move the pocket a little more to kind of change the trajectory of what a ball is released. As much as we might have some things to say about Swift, he's still running with the top of his capabilities of running, and he's pretty much catching the balls when you throw it to him. Why not design more to him? And some reason he gets a big run, then you go away from running. It's all of a sudden you just start passing, and you kind of get your team out of rhythm.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. It's like, okay, the man has a couple good runs, and it's like, all right, scrap that. We did enough of that already. It's like, no, man, you got to keep feeding you. He's a type of back, and I said this last year, you got to keep feeding him, and it's hard to go from, all right, I got 3 good carries this drive, and I don't get the ball no more, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, man, what we doing? And maybe
5 yards to carry today.
That's satisfactory.
That's terrible.
That's first downs. You just keep giving the ball, right?
Yeah.
But the math not mathing, man. For somebody, just like, what are we doing? So
and early on they were getting them outside on some plays, and those plays were yielding good results. And which made sense, right? Because you wasn't moving them in the middle. So that's what's puzzling as well, that you didn't, even when you did run, why did you stop running outside and start running inside? And to me, at some point, this game was out of reach. And what you want to do is just get some positive plays, find some stuff that work, get your team in the rhythm. Also, stop the avalanche, right? Because the more that team gets the ball, the more they're going to score. So if you can kind of grind it out, run a lot of clock. And I know people want to feel like, hey, they quit. Hey, sometimes you got to realize when it's over, right? And it's just not your day, right? And you got to know when that time comes, especially as a young coach, because you're coming up against Dallas this week, and offensively, Dallas look pretty good. What you gonna do against CD Lamb?
Oh God, not even that. They got George Pickens over there too.
And strangely enough, he actually looked like he made a difference in the game as I was watching. And George Pickens, I'm used to him doing something bonehead, but he made a big catch and got them to win the game. So that's already a hit of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we have weapons, we're just not using them.
Well, whatever happened to that 12 personnel with Komet and Loveland that was supposed to be, good at blocking and good at receiving. Although Komet did get 2 catches today for like 14-yard average.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't you throw him the ball more?
Yeah. I don't get that. I don't get that either. Yeah, I don't get that either, and I don't get the fact that Loveland is a guy that could line up as a receiver, and you're not exploiting those matches, that you should have, right? You should be able to have something, or you should be having some kind of quick game with them. I don't see any real quick game with them, but I know anytime you keep having these penalties, that messes up a lot of short, quick stuff as well, right? Because if you keep getting false starts or some kind of penalty and you got second and long, that still mess it up. But that doesn't mean you can't run those plays, because the Bears don't know who they are. It's kind of like what we were saying when Nagy was here. Like I said, and it's not saying Ben Johnson's not going to figure it out here. He's a new coach. We understand that. But just saying, I don't think he's coaching the players that he's coaching that's in front of him. And I think he, like Plank saying, he knows how he wants to win, but that's not what's happening. You got to adjust to what's happening in the game and not the way you think this should play out.
Yeah. You gotta get some more players in here too. Especially on the defense. I mean, I know it's early but man, you gotta go out and address the lines next year.
Wait, didn't we get a couple? Didn't we spend a couple $1 billion on a couple defensive linemen this free agency as well?
Yeah, they haven't showed up yet for camp. They're not here yet. I don't know where they have showed up.
We got them on layaway.
Yeah.
Right. Look. You had, I'm just gonna mention this. You brought a lot. You paid Grady Jarrett to come in. He doesn't play in any of the off-season, preseason stuff. He comes in, play last week. He's ineffective, and then he's out again this week. Then you have. Did he play today? Oh man, I thought he was out. I thought he was out. We'll take that back.
All week. No, he played today.
Okay.
That's dog he made it.
That's
I
crazy.
remember him. He do anything.
No, I saw him out there. Yeah, he got 1 total tackle.
Oh, did he? Okay. He fell by a pound.
And 2 quarterback hits.
Okay.
So he was the only one even trying to get any pressure. What's the other guy? Oya Dingbo. He got 2 total tackles. So it sounded like last week's game, he got a good matchup against their weakest offensive lineman, and that's why he looked good, better than he actually is.
Yeah, because they held Degangbo, what you call his name? They held him in check today. They held him in check today. I think those was he got one on a run play that came his way. One of those tackles was a run play on his way. Other than that, I don't remember him touching the quarterback.
Jared Goff made the Pro Bowl from playing today. Yeah, passing rater, man. It looked like that guy he wasn't missing anything. He was sitting up there in the pocket all day. Didn't seem like he was bothered, especially by anybody. So this just one of them horrible games. I can't wait to get off of this so I can go in the other room and start crying and holler and do what I normally do with the Bears lose.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I know we're all over the place with this game, but it's really not a lot of positive things that you could take from this game as far as what you could build on. But I will say this, definitely nothing in this game to me was on Caleb Williams at all. I think he did the best he could do in this game. I can't say he had no erratic throws. He hit the one, but that was more of like a punt in one sense. But he was under stress. But I'm talking about as far as what could he have done to turn this game around? Not a whole lot.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a bad game all the way around.
Yeah.
You got to
comment out here.
And you got beat up by your cousins. So anytime you're playing the teams in your division, you're at least supposed to show up. Jeez. Barco Verrier. Okay.
Said first
one target to Loveland. And it looked like it was an off target target as well. I think that was Bajan threw that, and he was 5 yards ahead of the dude who tried to make a dive and catch. So I don't know what the answer is, but that was hard to watch.
Yeah, and that's why I keep bringing this up, because I don't know what their plans at through 2 games for Loveland. I don't see a plan through 2 games. I know it's early. I don't see a plan. So it's like you just said, playing. You talk about the 12 personnel. I don't know. I haven't seen any matchup or any trying to get or run any plays to Loveland to get any particular matchup. I don't see any, especially since your first round pick. Hell, even Komet only got 2 targets, so I don't see like what was the game plan when they looked at this, because I know much we'll say whoever quarterback didn't have these many weapons. You don't have weapons if you can't protect. You don't have weapons. Right. You know, in fact, if you could protect, you could have pedestrian receivers if you got a lot of time, because the more time you got, guys going to get open. You don't have to. Some of the best offensive lines in the game don't have to have multiple receivers. They really only need one if you have a great line, you know. So what targets, what all the weapons they got, it doesn't matter. They're not weapons.
Man, we gave up 52 points. I ain't got nothing else to say.
You hit it right on the head. He's been used as an extra offensive lineman. You hit exactly right.
Well, you can't really use him as a wide receiver, because if you do, he's actually being guarded by a corner. That's not as big of a mismatch as people think it is. He hasn't proved that he's got the speed that can outrun quarters. And even though he's 6'6", that ain't really intimidating for a corner. He's like, as soon as the ball comes, we're just gonna grab the ball. We ain't scared of. We ain't guarding the man. We guarding where the ball goes. So, lovely. How's that other guy going in Indianapolis? That other tight end, is he doing better? He got 2 or 3 catches? Maybe we made a bad choice. We can put this back in the polls.
Mm-hmm. Is that Ty Warner? Is that his name? Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't really watched them this year. But all we could do is all they could do is burn the tape, work on some discipline, come up with a better game plan. Your defense going to have to come up with ways to get pressure in the next game. And if you establish the run, you got to stick with the run. And you're going to have to do more ball control offense to kind of manage it until you can figure out who you are defensively. And because if not, you'll be going to that bye week, being 0-4.
Yeah.
Well, Tyreek Stevenson, maybe he can open up a rib joint or something, because he getting cooked anyway. He might as well get some money.
Toast man.
Oh my God.
Toast crunch, baby.
Okay, thanks for those stats. So Warner was 7 for 76 yards last week.
Wow.
That's impactful, right? Because as a matter of fact, yeah, that's impactful. So we got to figure out how we're using these guys and what we want out of them, because like I said, I'm assuming it just was mentioned. I'm assuming Loveland was what Ben Johnson wanted. And if you wanted it, you want 2 tight ends, you got to have some reason why you got 12 personnel other than they just another guy out there helping block. Then if it's another guy that's out there helping block, then that means you needed a block. You needed an offensive lineman then.
Right.
I mean, that's what it says, because you should not have to continue you shouldn't draft a tight end when you got a good tight end to actually do the same thing the other tight end is doing, which is helping in pass pro. So that means you have not fixed pass pro. And you haven't fixed pass pro because you have 2 games where last week they weren't even rushing the extra man, and you had the guy back there trying to help, right? The second half is when they start bringing the extra defender.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff they have to fix, and I mean, it just looks bad right now. Look like they had no preseason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, what were they doing in practice? And another thing too is to the point where when you don't have your starters get out there and get game speed. Same thing that we was going through with Eberflus and Nagy and all those guys. When your starters don't get out there and play in the preseason, I know they got practices against teams and stuff like that, but it's nothing like game speed.
Right.
I know we try not to get nobody hurt, but shit, everybody hurt now anyway. So what difference do it? Ain't nobody playing.
Right.
So,
Hey, if y'all had anything else before we close out, I mean, it ain't really much to talk about this game. It was so bad.
I wanted to, I really wanted to thank everybody that me for the article that was done on me on Wednesday. I just want to thank everybody for the love and support for that article, man. Really,
You deserve it, man. Good job.
Yes,
And it
sir.
was in color too.
and I was like, "Whoa, a whole page? Oh man,
yeah. There was an article done on Dr. Quick this week in the Chicago Sun-Times that kind of talked about his work ethics and his health challenges and how he has worked through it. Very admirable man and motivational to see this brother. And yesterday I seen him picking up an award and he takes off and sprint and go get that award.
All right. Perseverance. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on going. But like I said, I really appreciate everybody for the love and support that they showed. It's been overwhelming a little bit, but hey, it's just good. It's not the I wish they could have gave the award to somebody else under these circumstances, but
the person, hey, I just want to make a comment on this comment before I leave. I agree wholeheartedly with you. This is one of the things I said in our text group. Is I think Ben Johnson is trying to get him to play like Jared Goff, and he should be playing to the strength of his quarterback. The strength of your quarterback is his ability to throw the ball on the move. You actually used it on that one touchdown play to throw the ball on the move to get to create a little bit. Use those strengths. He's able to scramble. There's nothing wrong with having a few design runs from him per a game just to get some, not what he just ran because he was under pressure, but use the strength of your quarterback because right now you're kind of being stubborn and you're saying, oh, he's going to come up to where I'm at. You got to coach the quarterback in front of you. We talked about this for years. We talked about this with Nagy, with Mitch, where you're trying to fit a square into a circle or vice versa. We talked about the same thing with Justin Fields, where the coaching staffs are like trying to make these guys, we know they got to be able to throw in the pocket, but still use some of the reason why you drafted them. You drafted them for some strength they had, and you can't just strip them of all that strength. That's just like telling Superman that not to fly, right? Hey, do everything but fly. Don't fly and don't use those X-ray vision. All other stuff that barely make him here, but just do the basic stuff. But until next time, y'all, we catch y'all at the post game show. Peace.